Hi folks, this is all the fruit. At our trip to southern France in early August, I noticed that the hop hornbeams, they have a bumper crop pretty much everywhere. They are covered with those very conspicuous bunches which give them the name. They are not closely related to hops, but since the fruits look like the fruits of hops, yeah, of course, they get this name. I've known this plant since my childhood in Bulgaria, just like in southern France. It likes to grow on dry slopes in the Balkan mountains. But I've never ever had any use for it. Yeah, I mean, of course the timber is being used, although usually the stuff stays quite small. So the timber is usually being used either for firewood. It's a very dense wood, so very good as firewood. And it's also been used for, because it's very hard, hornbeam, for handles and wooden screws and stuff where you need very hard wood. But due to the small dimensions, nowadays it's not favored a lot in by foresters who want to make money, because oaks or beeches, they grow to bigger sizes. But I've never considered those incredibly plentiful fruits to be edible. Then I noticed the ants collecting the seeds and bringing them into their ant holes. However, why are most of them left outside? They are left outside together with the seeds. Is it because the holes are blocked by this big harvest, or what's the reason? They bring them to their home and then they more or less leave them outside. They don't cut the wing from the seed. Nope, those all still have the seeds. At least the ants seem to have some use for those. Yeah, so those little ants, they made me scratch my head. If ants forage this stuff, couldn't people do that too? I searched around the internet, and as usual, there was nothing European on foraging this thing. But, as it happens very often, they actually sources from North America. They are foragers who claim that the little nuts which are inside those inflorescences are actually totally edible and even tasty. By the way, folks, I tried this out before I started the video, and some of those things, they made it into my t-shirt. And so I noticed that they're incredibly itchy. I guess that those little hairs which you see shining there, they are something like itching powder. It was horrible, folks. I swear I could sell those things commercially as itching powder. I had to, well, of course I have kind of a sunburn and stuff. This helps it helps the itch, it doesn't help me. But yeah, it was horrible. I had to change my t-shirt and wash myself with my precious drinking water and so on. But now to the edibility. So there are people who say that the little nuts are actually edible. Look at this, how it's covered in those itchy hairs. And on this plant, the nuts are particularly tiny. Like when they showed pictures of foraging those nuts. Well, it was of course not the European species, it was the American one, something like Ostrya, Carolina or Virginiana. named after some of their kings or queens. Usually in North America you have very similar species to Eurasia, but not the same. Look again at all those itchy hairs. Well, their seeds look considerably bigger. In the text it says they are like sunflower seeds. On the picture they look like they are half the size of a sunflower seed. This thing here is less than a quarter the size of a sunflower seed. Also it said forage the nice ripe ones which have a nice brown color, not the ones which have a green color. Well, sorry buddy, this one is still green. Can't even say that I tasted some real nutrient in there. Let me see. Maybe this was not ripe. Maybe if I find one of those, yeah, look at that. Here, a couple of the detached ones. I guess they were ripe since they fell off on their own and I lost the seed, but here there is a second fruit. Yeah, maybe the ones I picked from the tree were not ripe enough. Here is the seed. Considerably bigger, not brown, but also not a bright green, it's more the color of hay. So let's see. Slightly bigger. Don't know, folks. I don't even taste the inside. I mean, I taste this woody, hard shell on the outside, but that's all. And also my readiness to experiment a lot with those itchy things is kind of limited. I mean, they are everywhere. You could basically collect basketfuls of them, then make some unlucky creature, clean them from all the wings, and then maybe you could either munch up mouthfuls of them and hope to get some nutrients, or maybe press them so that you get the oil or what. I don't know, folks. It kind of, in a survival situation you have to forage for small things too, but those things are so small that I don't even know if you're gonna get some anything out of them. I mean, maybe they are not 100% ripe yet. Maybe because of the drought here, a lot of the fruits are infertile, barren. However, the plants invested all this energy into producing all these fruits. It will be strange if they all had no viable seeds. Maybe the American species has slightly bigger seeds. I don't know. Does anyone here have experience with foraging American hornbeam seeds? I would really like to know your experience with this strange, and even my fingers are itching. Look, can you see the shiny hairs on my fingers? And they are itching. Yeah. So folks, or maybe rather stay away from the itchy hornbeam. Stay tuned for a lot more fruit videos from the beautiful and from the itchy hop hornbeam. This is not the normal hornbeam, it's a relative. Stay tuned for a lot more fruit videos from the beautiful and incredibly fruit-rich area of southern France. And of course, don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe.